You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
So where you want to go? Let's go introduce ourselves. You talk to her, Phelps. I'm no good at this shoulder to cry on stuff.
So what next?
Let's go introduce ourselves. You talk to her, Phelps. I'm no good at this shoulder to cry on stuff.
Just a minute.
LAPD, Mrs. Black. May we come in? We have some bad news, and we'd rather discuss this in private.
I'm Margaret Black. We can discuss this in the living room. Please come in.
Your husband drives a blue Lincoln, Mrs. Black?
That's correct.
The car has been found abandoned, and I'm afraid there are signs of foul play.
I knew something was wrong when he didn't come home.
We believe your husband may be injured. We found a pipe on the scene with blood on.
Oh, no! My poor Adrian!
Does the name Insta-Heat mean anything to you, ma'am?
Yes, it does. We've just had a new water heater installed.
Whereabouts, Mrs. Black?
Just outside the kitchen window, at the side of the house.
I'd like you to try and stay calm and remember everything that you can about last night. My partner and I are going to take a look around. When you're ready, we're going to have some more questions for you. Is that okay?
Of course, officer. Anything to help secure my husband's safety.
Well, let's check the place out. Come on. Have a good look around. There's got to be something in here to go on.
Kavanaugh's. So who brought this home? This was only recently installed, not 2 days ago.
Maybe it's time we took a look around outside.
This must be Adrian's. Stenzel. So the glasses are a match. To my Adrian. This thing gets more and more interesting. Maybe Adrian was a patron. R&I should have an address. Separate bedrooms, separate pictures. What gives here? No use leaving the thing half finished. That can't be right. No, that won't work. So the pipe missing from Mr. Black's heater is the same one that killed him. Huh. Seems like the assailant is a little closer to home. Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Kavanaugh's bar.
Certainly, Detective. One moment. Kavanaugh's Bar, corner of Aliso and Hewitt, south side of Union Station.
Thanks.
I'm all right now, detectives.
We found a receipt in the trunk of your husband's car for a live pig. This receipt was made out to an F. Morgan.
A pig? Adrian runs a tool business. That would be Frank Morgan. God knows what he's up to.
What makes you say that about Morgan, ma'am?
He's the foreman at my husband's plant. A very shady character. I've told Adrian he needs to keep his distance from the staff. They're always out drinking together.
Did your husband tell you where he was going last night?
All he said was he was gonna meet Frank for a drink.
So nothing out of the usual then.
Well, he came home early from work. He never comes home early. And he went out early, too. He normally never leaves for the bar till about 7.
Was your husband wearing his glasses when he left here yesterday?
Yes, he just bought a new pair.
So you disposed of the new pair after you killed your husband. You made a mistake in leaving the old pair behind.
I never did! How can you be so heartless, throwing around accusations at a time like this?
Tell us about the photo of Adrian in the bedroom.
What is there to tell? It's from his most recent business trip to Seattle.
There's plenty to tell. You just won't tell it. You're lying about the photograph, Mrs. Black.
You're incredibly rude and insensitive. But I guess you know that. I've told you what I know about the picture.
What about Nicole, Mrs. Black? Was your husband going to leave you for her?
I've seen the photo frame. He thinks I'm stupid. But women sense these things. I don't know if he intended to leave me or if it was just a fling. God only knows. I only want to know that he's safe.
Your husband frequents Kavanaugh's bar?
How did you know that? Adrian practically lives there after work.
So Adrian spends a lot of time there.
Up until recently, he's been away in Seattle a lot on business.
I think you should come clean with us, Mrs. Black. Your husband is missing, and after our search, I'm willing to call the circumstances suspicious. Can you account for your movements last night?
You're not accusing me, are you? What an awful thing to say. I was here all night, of course, waiting for Adrian to come home.
Is there anyone who can vouch for that?
Well, no. I was here alone. I cooked Adrian's dinner and waited, but he never came home.
We'll keep you informed, Mrs. Black.
Please do, Detective.
Wow, that sure looks like a beauty.
You can drive.
Jesus, I'm glad to be out of there.
Mr. and Mrs. Black don't seem to have the happiest home life.
He's too scared to divorce her, and she's too much of a shrinking violet to throw him out. If this hadn't happened, they could have stayed miserable together forever.
You think she could have killed him?
She sure as hell doesn't seem the type, but stranger things have happened.
Hey, I know you.
No, you don't.
You looking for someone?
My eggs were running.
You know Frank Morgan?
Sure. Frank's your regular. He's a loner in the back.
That cherry pie was the...
Frank Morgan?
Who's asking?
Cole Phelps,
recommend a special
LAPD.
on this?
I understand you're a friend of Adrian Black.
Yeah, I know.
Are you aware that he's missing?
No, I hadn't heard that. Tough break.
We found Black's car abandoned in a freight depot, covered in blood. You know anything about that, Morgan?
Hell no. I'm sorry to hear that. I like Adrian. He's a good boss.
Please, don't tell me you actually believe this jerk-off, Phelps.
You're lying, Morgan. You were there.
And you're talking out your ass, detective. How about you prove I was out at that rail yard?
You were there, Morgan. We found a receipt in the trunk of the car. It has your name on it. We can call the slaughter yard and nail you on it.
All right already. That fool Adrian's fallen for some dame in Seattle. He wanted me to make it look like he'd been attacked.
Where exactly is Black holed up?
No idea. I think he took off for Seattle.
How was he getting there?
I don't know. Maybe a Greyhound? You guys ought to go try the terminal on Sunset.
So Adrian isn't hurt? What's with all the blood?
I don't know. It was dark. He must have caught a nick on something. Yeah.
You're lying, Morgan. You killed Black and hid the body. Where is it?
Me? Hey, all I did was help the fool. You're gonna need a lot more than that to prove that I hurt him. I've had about enough of you two. How about you guys go find another table? Okay?
This doesn't add up, Morgan. And your excuses don't help. Let's see how you enjoy the LAPD taking an interest in your life.
You want my opinion? We tell Morgan. I say he's lying, and whatever hole he's got Adrian